best for you. Can you be my number one on that stupid thing to get me recognition?
Rod Vazan Holdings proudly presents Warwick Radio with 5-decade fight trainer, Coach James Gogi.
Guys, welcome. Happy Sunday to all of you guys. And, well, look, I usually don't like doing a live show or production or anything like that when my voice is beat up because of the hill country allergy season. Thank you, Mountain Cedar. But, guys, this is special. We want to welcome a gentleman who is the flagship of Warwick Boxing. Guys, he's the incomparable. And once again, the streak continues. Does this gentleman ever get tired of being wrong or being right all the time, constantly? Does he hate saying, I told you so? Well, let's ask him. Guys, the incomparable James Gogi. James, how you doing, brother?
Hey, Joe, I'm doing good. Pretty much everything I thought would happen in the fight yesterday played out. Like I said last week on the show, especially the Benavidez fight, I thought it would go 7-10. It went 6. You know what I mean? Because he was taking a beating, and his corner was smart enough to stop it before he took more punishment. Because it wouldn't have mattered, Joe. If you went out for the extra round, go out in the shield, man. What the fuck? You know what I mean? That takes a lot of what do you call it?
Years off the life, years off the career.
Years off your career. Puts a lot more miles on your engine and everything. You know what I mean? So it was smart of him and his team stopping the fight between corners because, the beating he was taking, it would have got worse in the 7th round. And he probably would have stopped him that round, which I thought the fight was going to get stopped anywhere from 7-10. But, I've been saying this for years. When you're fighting these, these high volume punch attack pressure fighters that go, that like to take it to you. And, and once they get in range, they like to put their combinations together at high volume, at a high rate. And, if you ain't got the skill sets to stop it, to go tit for tat with them, to fight him in the pocket, what I'm trying to say. Yeah, you're not going to be able to handle that high volume pressure attack, that high volume punch attack that Benavidez was putting on him. You got to have the skill sets, okay, to fight in the pocket, to fight in the phone booth, man-to-man combat, okay, mano-a-mano. I've been saying this for years, Joe. A lot of fighters, especially you see a lot of fighters on the elite level, when they get there, you see that deficiency in their game. They're great at distance, like that Taliban guy. What's that Taliban guy that fought?
Ergashev.
Yeah. I don't know. I just call him
Taliban. Ergashev. Yep. Well, he got destroyed. We'll get back to that in a second. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, but you see him, he was all great at distance. But once Matisse started, right here, he was great. Oh, you can see his natural snap and power on his punches. That, oof. Boy, a lot of guys he would have knocked out, okay?
Yep.
And you can look at his career. He knocked out a lot of guys with punches like that. But when he's right here, he looks beautiful. But when you get him right here, he has no skill sets, no fundamental skill sets on how to fight in the pocket. When the fight transfers from there to here, he don't know what to do. He smothers you, he hugs you. He's fundamentally flawed in every aspect, just like that boo-boo Andrade. And I've been saying that for years, Joe, haven't I? He has no inside game.
Yep, and he's a donut fighter. Yep.
And I've been saying that about that Taliban guy, too. Going into the fight, I said that Taliban guy, they never taught
Ergashev.
Yeah. They never taught him how to fight in the pocket. Okay. That's man, let me tell you, that's a skill set you must have. Because when you get to this level, you know what I mean? You might run into, steamrollers, locomotives like this that are operating at a high speed coming at you, and they're putting their punches together and they're trying to, bully you and take your, your lunch money. You gotta stand your ground. You gotta have the fundamentals, stay in the pocket, that mentality to fight them, what do you call it? Mano a mano. tooth to tooth, nail to nail. Okay, you got to stand there and let them know, man, you ain't just gonna bully me. Okay, I'm gonna be, what do you call it? I'm gonna be the bully too. You try to get in there and try to take what's mine, you ain't gonna take it. Because if you got the skill sets, like I said, and the mentality, that physical mentality to stand there in the pocket, okay, you're gonna, what do you call it? You're gonna neutralize that forward pressure, and you're gonna get his respect. And when that happens, guess what? The tide of the fight is gonna change. It ain't, the momentum ain't gonna keep on building up on this side. You're gonna put it. What do you call it? You're gonna put a halt to that. You're gonna flatten some of his tires. Okay, if you know how to do it right. And that's, to me, that's one of the hardest styles, terrifying styles to fight if you ain't got the skill sets. When a guy just comes at you and you can't push him off you, and you can't keep him at distance, and he gets right here and you hit him with some best shots and he's come back firing, you know, you don't know how to defend yourself. You don't know how to throw them short, sharp, compact combinations in the pocket to get his attention, to hurt him. You don't know how to rip them body shots to slow him down. Man, it's going to be a long night, you know, unless you stop it like their corners did. Like, man, they were smart. They were like, man, we ain't got nothing for this guy. My guys ain't got them. You know what, Joe? He came into a battle with just a pistol. He didn't have no AR-15 or a howitzer or you know what I mean, or one of them Lockett Ranchers. He just came in there with a little 9mm. Okay, and the other guy came in there with, he came in there with a full armory. Okay, and when he got his the body shots that he was landing on that Ergashev, that took a lot of steam out of him. That hurt him a lot. You seen him especially when he landed a right uppercut inside to that Taliban. The Taliban.
Ergashev.
Yeah. Yo, I mean, I knew that going in because I seen these guys fight all through. They've been pros so many years, and they never been taught how to fight in the pocket effectively, how to deal with pressure fight, or they never had to fight pressure fighters like this, but they never were taught how to fight effectively in the pocket. When the fight goes from long range, medium range to right here in the pocket, they never were taught the skill sets, the mentality. Okay. And guess what? Guys like that always come short when it's time to, when it's time to win a big fight. They're always going to come up short.
Yeah, well, you know what? You're right about that, brother. And speaking of the AR-15, dude, it must be a little chilly in Leon because you've got your SWAT gear on, brother.
Man, it's cold up here in Mexico, boy. It's wintertime, man. I'm in the mountains. I'm at high altitude, 6,000 feet. So it's getting a little chilly up here. It's not Cancun. You know what I mean?
No. And I tell you what, man, for old codgers like ourselves, Gogi, it's all bad.
I love that hot, warm weather, man.
Yeah, me too. The older I get, the more I appreciate the summertime. Well, I'll say this, and once again, just being in your company, brother, my voice is starting to feel a lot better. And I will say this, credit to anyone who took advantage of the War Week Boxing Sexy Bet of the Weekend. Guys, we called it. Well, and once again, we thought of even a safe strategy for you so you couldn't lose. Like I said, the 4 through 6 Sexy Bet yielded plus 1,100 odds. The 7 through 9 safety net that Gogi recommended. Yep. That was plus 600. Guys, if you listen to Warwick Radio and you put your money on it, you made some money. Merry Christmas. Guys, so once again, it pays to listen to Coach Gogi and Warwick Boxing. So here it is. Coach Gogi, even without, now once again, we told all of you guys why we love the Sexy Bet 4 through 6. Because, there have been a lot of rumblings, guys. A lot of rumblings that his legs were not the same. He was working on rubbery legs. But even with that said, Does he still get knocked out though, Gogi?
It would have, man. All excuses in the world. It still would have happened, man.
Yeah, just maybe a couple more rounds. That's it.
That's it. It would have just gave him a couple more rounds to survive. Because Joe, when you ain't got the skill sets,
Yep.
Joe, to fight that tough pressure coming at you, and what they say in boxing, pressure breaks pipes. If you ain't got the skill sets on phone booth warfare, mano a mano, okay, man to man in the pocket, warfare, it ain't gonna matter, man. It ain't gonna matter. So that was the biggest. He didn't have the skill sets. Okay,
that's it. That's it. And once again, it's just like using PEDs. PEDs can't teach you how to fight.
And look at all that. Look at all that shit. Look at all that shit Victor and his strength coach were doing with them, giving them all those supplements and all them track workouts and all that. Did that fucking help? Fuck no, man. You know, did you see that? You see the preview? You know, he was running on the track, doing them Olympic hurdle type workouts and the sprints and, you know, all that high tech shit Victor Conte promotes that ain't worth the shit. And it ain't gonna matter. Because if you ain't got the skill sets to fight a tough pressure fighter coming at you, all that, you know, all them vitamins and Victor Conte vitamins and them protein shakes and that Remy stuff and all that bullshit. To me, it's a bunch of bullshit. Okay. All right. That doesn't teach you how to fight. That doesn't teach you skill sets. All right. All right. And they found out last night. Okay. All that shit they did over there. What round did he get knocked out in the 6th? Yeah.
Yep.
Or they stopped him in the 6th.
Yeah. Honestly, I thought I had lost the wager, right? Because once again, I listened to Gogi as well. And so my strategy was putting 5, right? On 4 through 6 and 5 on 7 through 9. I thought, oh, well, I didn't get the big money, but because the round had ended, he went to his corner, and then all of a sudden I started to see Thomas Taylor approach him, you know, asking, hey, guys, do you want to continue go out and taking a beating? And yeah, I could see it in their face. They said no. Guys, that was music to my ears, or more specifically, money to my eyes. And yeah, I think they did. So once again, we got that. And so I ended up walking home, right? Taking home $5,500, my friend. How do you like that?
Oh my Joe, you are motherfucking man. You a motherfucking player, baby. You won 5,500.
Yeah, I bet $1,000 on the fight, and I put 500 on 4 to 6, 500 on 7 to 9.
All right.
Yep. So
right,
I ended up winning $5,500. Yeah, because he retired. The first bell of the 7th round did not sound, so that was a 6-round stoppage.
Yep. Yeah, I thought, you know what? When they stopped the fight, I go, okay, my prediction was right. Then I listened to the show again. It was 7 to 10. So you know my prediction came up a round short, but I knew he was going to get stopped. It was just a matter of time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so. Yeah. And so once again, Gogi, very important. 2 things really that really seemed to be a huge detriment. One, those skill sets on the inside. Can you actually learn that in one camp, Gogi?
Fuck no, man. It takes time. It takes a series of fights. You just can't learn that shit in one fight. It's a skill set, man. It takes years. I mean, it depends. Everybody's different. Some guys are just naturally aggressive, but their and they like to mix it up with you in the pocket, but their technique's fucked up. You just gotta, polish them up on their technique because you already got that natural aggression to fight. You just gotta polish up their punches on the inside, teach them the right combinations to throw, making sure the fundamentals are right. Okay, that's the main thing. Offensively and defense. A lot of motherfuckers think when you get inside, it's just offense. Well, you got to defend yourself against them punches coming back at you on the inside because you're right there, man. Yep. You're right there to get hit. Okay. You're not at distance and range where it's going to be harder for you to get hit. It's going to be right there in the pocket like a punching bag. So when you're in the pocket, you got to know how to defend yourself against those punches. Okay, it all comes back fundamentals. Okay, fundamentals on defensive tactics and strategies. I don't want to talk about it now, but yeah. But anyway, that was you seen the deficiency of Andrade when he got in the pocket. What did he do, Joe? He just lunged in, had no way to defending himself.
What did he do besides pissing his pants?
Basically, punches. He had no, he had no.
And look, and you called it. You called it, Gogi. You said it's going to depend on the ref as well. Thomas Taylor from California, one of the best refs in boxing, didn't allow him to tie him up. Yeah. Didn't allow it. He didn't allow it. He wasn't like Kenny Bayless.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on, real quick. Let me put on my hotspot real quick, brother.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna get this resolved, guys, very, very soon. Okay.
Look, man.
Hold on. Let me just switch them. Go ahead, Gogi.
Look.
Go ahead. No.
Coaches these days, I've been saying, they don't teach their fighters how to properly fight in the pocket, at man-to-man combat, in the trenches, phone booth warfare, I call it. They don't teach because they don't know. You can't teach what you don't know. All right. You know what? Kind of funny. I put this on my Facebook. The same thing I'm talking about right now. I put it on my Facebook. And Orlando Canizales, the Hall of Fame. One of the great all-time bantamweights. He commented. He goes, "A lot of coaches don't know how to teach it." Then I commented back to him, "You can't teach what you don't know." He goes, "Exactly." Okay.
That is it. That's it. And once again, it's becoming a lost art in teaching the fundamentals in everywhere. In the US, in the UK, everywhere, man. No one knows that skill set, and you're gonna see it. Well, can we honestly say, Gogi, that you are the last of the Mohicans?
I can say that. I can say that. I can not only teach offense, when you get in the pocket, the combinations to throw, how to break the guy down, how to hit him at angles. What do you call it? Which combinations work most effective against a certain opponent, stuff like that. But I can also teach my guy how to defend against punches at close range, because that's more important, Joe. Defending yourself from the guys incoming at close range. Because if you're not, you're going to get hit with some bombs. You're going to hit with uppercuts. You're going to get hit with hooks, with body shots. You got to know how to block them correctly. You got to know how to slip them. You got to know how to, roll with them. Stuff like that. There's, move your head, bob and weave into those punches, step at angles so you don't get hit. All that stuff, man. All that stuff. You can't learn it in one camp. It takes a while. Some guys pick it up faster than the others, but it usually takes a couple years, honestly, if you're starting from scratch. And your guy has no experience. He doesn't have that mentality of, being physical and aggressive in the pocket. It usually takes me 2 years to develop that in a fighter. But if a fighter is naturally aggressive and he likes to mix it up, then it's just teaching him the right techniques, offensively and defensively, and important defense, teaching the defense at close range and how to slip the punches, how to roll with them punches like Roberto Duran. You hit him flush on the chin, he just rolls with a punch, rolls with a punch. When you hit him, you don't take the full impact of the punch, you just roll with it. Yeah, Duran was mad. I learned all this stuff over the years, man. Over the years. This is not something I learned watching YouTube fucking videos or watching these instructional videos. Watching these fucking instructional videos. Everybody seems to be a fucking expert with all these instructional videos coming out. And I fucking laugh. They fucking laugh. A lot of the shit they teach, a lot of the stuff they're preaching, it doesn't work in a real fight. Okay, this is stuff I learned before YouTube came up. I used to buy a lot of, back in the days, cassette tapes, VHS. And I used to study the all-time greats and all the stuff they did. James Toney. Okay, Roberto Duran, they were great defensive fighters in close quarters. You know what I mean? Duran was a very underrated defensive fighter at close quarters. Oh, yeah, very underrated. I knew that back in '88. I remember Lindo Holmes. He was the #1 ranked contender. I said this on the show one time. the IBF's #1 168-pound contender. He was, he was in contention to face Duran, but the fight never, played out. And he was training in our gym back then in Sacramento. And I asked him, we were talking about Duran. I go, he's very, very underrated defensively. He goes, yep, in the pocket, he's very underrated defensive fighter. He said it's hard to get a clean shot off on him consistently because he knows how to roll. He knows how to slip, just a little movement, slip inside, slip, the uppercut slip. You know what I mean? He knows all the, he knows he's got a God gift to see those punches and make you miss just slightly or roll the punches when he does get hit. He got that instinct. He has, he trained himself to automatically react when he gets hit with a punch to roll with a punch where it becomes instinct. Okay. So, Duran was a master. James Toney was a master inside defensive fighter with that little shoulder roll. How he blocked punches with that lead shoulder, how he catch the right hand, catch the left hook, how he leaned back from punches at a 45-degree angle, all that stuff. How he catch and counter, roll and counter, lean back and counter. All this shit is world-class shit. These motherfuckers don't teach that shit nowadays. They don't know. These young coaches. Yo, you ever see these fucking instructional videos? These motherfuckers do all this fancy shit. But how many times do you see him throw body punches and all them? Very rarely. It's all these head shots. Pop, 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 pop. None of them, boom, 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 then go back to the body, then come back to the head. All this shit mostly do is 99% is headshots. They don't focus on balance. I always tell my fighters, you got to hit both, a high and low, head and body. You got to have balance because when you hit this, it's going to set up this downstairs. When you hit this low, the body, it's going to set up the headshots. Okay, then it's going to set up shots that the opponents are not going to expect, like the uppercuts up to the middle, the hooks coming around at different angles, stuff like that. You got to have balance. But you see all these motherfuckers nowadays when they're hitting the pads, you rarely see them throwing body shots. I even took my fighters one day. I said, look at this fucking video, this joke ass video. I go, count how many body shots they're throwing. Not one when they're working the pads. The trainers, these fucking trainers nowadays, not one time did they throw combinations hit and then come back to the body, come back to the other side of the body, then come upstairs with a hook, then come back to the body. Okay, to me, that's a bad motherfucker that knows how to create combinations and mix them up upstairs and downstairs. Canelo does that beautiful. Inoue does that. Inoue does that beautiful. Okay, ability to throw them different creative combinations upstairs and downstairs, downstairs and upstairs. Not just to the head, like all these motherfuckers you see out there with them fancy pad work. That shit. I call them fitness videos. That's what I call them, just to get you in shape to lose weight.
That's right. And here's another thing. Second thing I wanted to bring up about Andrade, what really, broke his confidence, broke his will, was that Gogi, if you can't hurt David Benavidez, oh, that's very discouraging now, isn't it? Especially when you get out first and give him your best shot.
I've always said that. I said that for years since I was on the show. You fight an aggressive pressure fighter. If you can't get their attention early on, forget about it. It's going to be a long night.
Yep.
And you can hit him with your best shot. If he keeps on coming, hey, then the fight goes in the pocket. And if you ain't got no skill sets on how to fight him, man on man, mano a mano in the phone booth, forget about it. You're gonna fold eventually. And that's what happened to that Taliban and Benavidez last night. Yeah.
Well, I will say this. Subriel Matias versus Shoshan Ergashev almost seemed like an ominous sign of things to come for the main event now, didn't it? Yep. And there it is, guys. Well, go ahead, sir.
You can see these guys got the natural God-given talent to do it.
Yep. Athletics.
Just the athletics. I can see they got the God-given. Oh, yeah, they're physical. Both of them guys, man. I don't get talent like that. Okay. But the guys I do get, the guys I do get, I develop the fundamental skill sets in fighting in the pocket. You seen like my guy last week. I told you to look at my guy, my video.
He looks great. He looks great, Gogi.
You see him in the pocket, how he rolls and counters.
Relax,
you know what I mean? How he slips.
Relaxed. Yep.
And how he hits the body, how he hits to the head, how he goes to the body and comes back to the head, how he goes to the head and comes down to the body. He couldn't do that shit.
No, that's all
you
preparation.
See, Joe, you seen that video of my guy?
Yep.
He's gonna be an exciting TV fighter. But the thing is, he couldn't do that shit when I got him a year and a half ago. He didn't know how to do that shit. Nobody ever taught him that. I had to teach him all that. But he, like I said, some guys pick up faster than the other. He was just a naturally aggressive guy, but his raw and green, meaning, you know, his skill sets, he didn't have any skill sets. And the few that he had when I got him, I polished them up. And when you seen that, when I sent you that video, I said, what do you think? You see it?
Yep.
Man,
all I can say is this, Gogi. Get Ivan that damn work visa.
Yeah, that's my next goal. But you can see, Joe, he has better skill sets than that Taliban. And
no, I'm sorry. What is his name? What is his full name?
Ibran.
Ibran, that's right. Get Ibran that damn work visa, brother.
Yeah, my other kid too. My other kid, Manuel Rangel. I'm gonna get. Oh, he couldn't do all that stuff in the pocket, but now, shit, all these pressure fighters in Mexico that come at you, and that used to give both my guys a hard time. In sparring, we beating the shit out of them every single time. It's target practice. My guys know how to handle that pressure. They're comfortable. They got the skill sets. They got the confidence. They got the comfortability. And it took time it took years. You know, they were comfortable. They were comfortable when they started sparring them guys. They didn't have the skill set. They looked like Andrade and that Taliban guy. They were totally unprepared.
Ergashev.
Yeah, whatever that Taliban fuck is. But once I developed those skill sets in both of my guys, we beat the shit out of all these tough pressure fighters. They're all the same, Joe. One dimension. Try to get in your face, throw punches. You hit them with your best shot. They keep coming. They get the shit beat out of them now. I mean, we go to Mexico City. It's the same thing. They get all them tough Mexican fighters over there in Mexico City. It's the same thing. Come over here in Leon, Mexico. It's the same shit. They all get the shit beat out of them by my guys. Because once you learn how to fight that tough pressure style, man, it's fucking easy. It's like they're easy to find, man. You know, they're easy to find, meaning they're easy to hit. And my guys beat the shit out of all these guys over here. Both my guys, man. Well, you seen LeBron. Okay, yep. You see LeBron, how relaxed you see that video I sent you, how that tough Mexican pressure fighter was coming at him, and
yep.
LeBron, what was he doing? Picking them apart, and not getting hit. Okay, that's it. That pressure fighter was coming at him. My guy was just picking them apart, rolling and countering, digging the body shots, going back to the head, hitting them hooks to the body, then coming back to the head. Man, that pressure fighter was getting hit so much. Okay, my guy got his attention, and you can see that guy who just loves to come forward. He started going backwards. That's when you know you got a pressure fighter's attention. When they start going backwards because you hit them with some shots, some body shots or head shots, they start, oh my God, you start putting fear in them, and they start backing away right then and there. That was like, I've seen that since the first round. We started hurting this guy with shots, and the guy started backing off. I go, it's just a matter of time. But that guy had a big heart like these Mexican fighters did. Then here's another thing. Once we start hitting that body consistently, like you seen in the video,
yep.
that's gonna start taking air out of his tires. And before we knocked him out in the fourth round, my guy hit him with a couple good body shots. And he told me when he hit him with that uppercut to the body, when he hit him with the right hook to the body, then he pivoted at an angle like Roberto Duran and hit him with that left uppercut right here in the midsection. He said that guy went like this. I seen it too. So he just stepped around him and finished that bitch off. Yeah, but them same, like I said, the Andrade and Ergashev, they had no skills like that on how to handle that tough pressure, and they got their pipes broken yesterday.
Yep, they sure did. And I tell you what,
man, I would love to have talent like that, and give me some fights with them. Give me some time to work and develop the skill sets in them. Oh my God.
Yep.
Oh. And Joe, they've had, you know, I ain't gonna not they had time with their coaches they had now, but their coaches never developed the skill sets in them. And I'm not
Well,
talking bad about them. Hey, what you saw last night is what you saw last night.
Yep,
Joe,
and Coach Gogi,
Joe,
you said it.
Joe,
Go ahead, sir.
what you saw last night is what you saw last night. Them coaches had more than enough time to develop the skill sets, the inside skill sets, which they needed. The phone booth warfare, the mano, okay, trench warfare skills, and they never did.
Well, I you know, once again, like you stated in the outset of the program, you can't teach what you don't know.
Bottom line.
And there it is. There it is. Let's go back to start the fight, guys. Demetrius Andrade. Well, why do you think he elected to try and fight Andrade? Well, why do you think he elected to fight fire with fire? He didn't have the same wheels.
The guy was putting the heat on him. He had to.
Yep.
He couldn't apply the sweet science on this guy and keep him at range and distance. Shit, by the second round, this guy already had the distance he wanted. If you notice, he closed the distance a lot faster on Andre than he did on Plant. Plant, he was waiting. It took him 5-6 rounds before he started getting closer and closer.
Yep.
Okay. But this guy, I mean, Benavidez, he closed the distance a lot faster. So he made him fight.
Yep.
His fight. Okay.
But yeah, he had no choice. That's right. He had no choice. And once again, but I will say this, Andrade, boy, he gassed out very quickly because he gave him everything that he had within the first 3 rounds.
That's what happens, Joe.
In my opinion, Gogi, I had the fight scored 3 rounds to nothing after 3 for Andrade.
I don't know, man. I had the first one for him. Second one was close. Third one I had at Benavidez. Yeah, he was.
I could see the third one. Yeah, going towards Benavidez.
He got gassed out because that's what pressure does. Okay.
Yep.
You get your heart rate up. You start getting nervous. You start wasting energy.
Yep. And once again, it's mental as well as it is physical, isn't it, Gogi?
Fuck yeah, it's mental, man. You got to have that physical mindset, but you got to have the skills. Once you develop the skills and once they become habits and instincts, then the mentality grows with your skills, okay? Once you got the skills, your mentality grows with the skills. And you got that, once you got that aggressive physical mindset and you got the skills, you want the motherfuckers to come at you, okay? You feel comfortable. You feel confident you can handle their shit. All right. But you can see last night, both of them guys were missing all that shit. That Taliban and Andre, they were missing both of those. And they got steamrolled. Okay. They got their lunch money taken. You know, they just
it's funny. I the 12, 13 years we've been working together, Gogi, I don't think I ever get tired of hearing you put the emphasis and the mustard on the S word as well as the B word.
Bitches, yeah. That's what they did. They got bitch. They got bitch, both of them.
I tell you what, though, guys. But after that knockdown in the 4th, Gogi, it was all over, wasn't it?
Yeah, man. You could see the pressure was getting to him. He couldn't keep that distance he wanted to box and move, like he's done in his other opponents he fought. It's a matter of time, man. It was just a matter of time.
Well, I tell you what,
like I thought.
There it is, guys. And once again, Benavidez found his range. Those short, compact, even if he's fighting from mid to long range, you can't hurt him from mid to long range. He was taking everything like a champ, still coming forward. And then those quick, short, compact left hooks, straight right hands, but very difficult to actually, very difficult to anticipate, aren't they, Gogi?
Joe, but he also, his jab was, he started using, I thought in the beginning rounds, man, I was like, man, he should be using his jab more. Well, in fourth, fifth round, he started using that long, stinging jab.
Yep.
Okay. And that pretty much helped him get the distance he wanted without taking no incoming coming in. See, I always say that when you're pressuring the guy, you're getting the distance. The best weapon to throw your opponent without him catching you with a lot of incoming is that jab. I don't give a shit if you're southpaw right-handed. You put that jab in his face, he's not going to throw back.
Yep, there it is. There it is, guys. And so that's what you got. The sixth round bell sounded. And yeah, his team thought it was wise to call a halt to the action. Thank you very much, guys. And so aside from me becoming $5,500 richer, yeah, Benavidez got the sensational, resounding 6-round knockout. Now, Gogi, after the fight, he said, you know what? Welcome to the David Benavidez era of boxing. And they called out Samson Lukowitz, his promoter, called out Canelo Alvarez, said, you know what? We know you're working with Jaime Munguia. We know this. But enough is enough. Do the bidding of the fans, the real bosses of boxing. We demand it. Step up and take on Canelo Alvarez. Gogi, I know for a fact, and I confirmed this with someone who works with Golden Boy. Yeah, unfortunately, guys, the rumors are all true. I found out this weekend, or actually on Friday, that yes, Canelo has contacted Team Jaime Munguia as well as Golden Boy. And they even brought up, from what I was told, they even brought up, well, what about Showtime? What about PBC? Don't they have a say in who your opponent is? He said no, Eddie Reynoso. No, that was one of the conditions why we signed with PBC. They have no say in who our next opponents are. So, guys, Canelo, or I'm sorry, Gogi, tell us, does Canelo Benavidez happen in 2024?
I knew that what happened a couple weeks ago with my buddy of mine. He's good friends with Munguia, and he told me, you know, that's the fight they want to make. They offered him. They already made an offer to him. They're talking to, you know, they're just getting the details ironed out and all that. And hopefully that fight will come. That's a good fight for Canelo, man. A guy that's easy to hit, a guy that doesn't understand defense. Yeah. But a guy that has a good high volume punch rate, but gets hit and back in return, you know, Munguia. So that's, you know, plus both guys are what do you call it? True Mexicans. Okay. They're both Mexican nationals, not like Benavidez. You know, Benavidez is Mexican American. That's the difference. And both these guys are Mexican nationals. So it will create a big buzz in all of Mexico. Plus it's a great style matchup. Both guys are physical. One guy understands defense. The other guy doesn't. The one guy gets hit a lot. The other guy has great defensive skills. But in this fight with Ryder, he was getting hit with everything. But I thought that was more out of no respect for Ryder. You know, yep. He really didn't focus on his defense against Ryder and got hit more than normal. But against Charlo didn't. Yeah, Charlo just.
Hold on, Gogi. Stick to the point real quick, because I want to segue into our next. Your breakdown of Canelo Benavidez. Does Canelo fight Benavidez in 2024?
If I was Canelo, why would I want that kind of? I mean, what does he fucking bring to it? Well, all you got to do is look at his pay-per-view numbers. I guarantee you they're going to be under 40,000.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that motherfucker. That tells me right there he ain't no draw. Was it a sellout at the
Mandalay Bay?
Was it a sellout?
Nope. Look, that doesn't say anything at all, because the Mandalay Bay only holds 11,000. It's not the MGM Grand.
And it was
had they put it in the MGM, yes, it was a sellout. But had they put it in the MGM Grand, it wouldn't have been.
They said it was a sellout, but how many tickets were given away? All right.
I'm not sure about that. I'll find out on Monday, tomorrow.
But the bottom line, Joe, is the pay-per-view. What was his pay? That's going to say everything. Now, if he does a normal David Benavidez fight under 50,000, get the fuck out. Canelo, fuck you, man. You don't bring shit to the table, bitch.
So that brings us. So I already anticipated you saying that. So now we're going to go into our next topic, right? And I'm going to consider this a mythical matchup. because in my opinion, knowing what I know now, yeah, this fight's not happening, guys. So here it is.
How we doing, love? It's time for Gogi's mythical matchups. And no, I'm not making a comeback. Oh, you can't afford me, can you?
Well, and there it is, guys. Thank you, Hitman.
Yeah.
Oh, Chingao. So, guys, this is going to be a mythical matchup to the dismay of everyone, right? And this is going to be proved to be a huge detriment to the health of the sport within the North American market. Guys, this is the hottest fight you can make in America. Guess what? It's not going to happen. Now that I know what I know definitively, yeah, it's not going to happen, guys, because no one is going to be able to force Canelo to step in the ring with the Mexican monster. So now it's going to be Gogi. How does this mythical matchup play out?
Well, evidently, Benavidez got the range. You know, he's long and rangy, and he's got a good jab when he uses it effectively. He can pretty much be just as effective by fighting a similar game plan like Bivol. Keep everything long and rangy, you know, with that jab. That jab has got to be consistent round after round, and it's got to have a high connect rate, like when he fought Golovkin. Anybody that has a real good effective jab, a stinging jab, like Golovkin, Benavidez does, is going to give Canelo problems because Canelo can't get to you. But once that jab is what do you call it? Landing on target to Canelo's face, then Benavidez, he's just a naturally aggressive guy. He ain't going to stay at range and distance all fight. He's going to get in the pocket and put his combinations together. Body, head, body, punches coming from all different angles. You know, he loves them sweeping right hooks to the body. Then he loves coming back with the right uppercuts. And, you know, he's a very, very creative combination puncher, just like Saul Canelo. And to me, it's that jab is going to be the key for him winning the fight. That's going to get him hit less, and it's going to set up his offensive attack. Okay, it's going to get him into rhythm to go on the offense to get closer. But when he gets close, Canelo, that's when Canelo can fight in the pocket too.
Yep.
Okay. And he better practice that defense he had in the past. He better bring it out of the closet because he's going to need it for a guy like this that, you know, pretty much a locomotive. Once he gets going, that momentum builds up on his side.
Well, hold on, Gogi. I have to take a break right here. Hold on. We want to thank RZ for actually joining the show and actually making some bread from Coach Gogi's masterful, analysis of this fight that just happened on Saturday. Thank you, RZ. And he drops the $20 super chat. Thank you, my friend. He says, I thought that Benavidez would beat Andrade, but Coach Gogi and Joe's conviction really made me double down on my bet. I appreciate it. We appreciate you, my friend. What do you think Canelo Benavidez would open at the sports books? Even money? Yeah, I think it would open at even money. What say you, Gogi?
2-1, 2.5-1 Benavidez.
Wow, because of the sensational knockout performance.
Yeah, people are, man, you know what? He's starting to create that buzz out there, you know, the Mexican. Then he got Mike Tyson behind him, you know. Oh, this guy, you know, he's trying to get that. It's starting to become, what do you call it, in the public's eye. Okay, his persona. Now, if it could cross over to mainstream and his motherfucking pay-per-view numbers go up, then he's got some leverage to make that fight happen and to get going into the negotiation. He ain't got no leverage. Man, find out what it, ask our boy Rick Glazier what the pay-per-view numbers are, not that bullshit they put out, the real ones.
I'll find out from my guy as well as Glazier.
What was his pay-per-view numbers against Plant? Less than 50?
Oh my gosh. No, it was about 120,000.
Oh, okay. He did 120 with Plant. So, you know, when you grow and grow, your pay-per-view numbers usually get bigger. Let's see though. This is very important to see. You know, if this guy is becoming a marketable commodity. Now, if he goes from 120 to 100, he's basically like He's basically like Gervonta Davis. He had his high with Leo Santa Cruz, and everything after Leo Santa Cruz is started sinking until Ryan Garcia got involved, because Ryan Garcia is a marketable commodity. Then it went up to 1.2 million. So let's find out. That's going to be important, because if his pay-per-view numbers, he can't look at pay-per-view number. The pay-per-view numbers. If he hits 200,000, okay, now we're talking. He's got a little bit of leverage. He'll get probably if I was Canelo, take 75% of the purse, give him a 25% split. Yeah, and that's being nice. And the motherfucker better take it, because if he wants to be the man, he got to beat the man. Then once he beats the man, then he can start demanding, most of the pie. You know what I mean? That's how boxing works, man. But,
and there it is. And there it is. Now, what I do know for sure is that Paramount Plus, Showtime Sports, they're obligated to air or distribute Canelo versus whomever in his next two fights, as well as Tank Davis in his next two fights. Now, I haven't confirmed yet that they're on the hook for the guarantee. Well, actually, yeah, I think they're on the hook for the guarantees as well. But they don't have a say in his opposition. That's the catch. And so I'm convinced, guys, this fight's not going to happen.
Hey, Joe, Canelo Munguia would sell, because it's a good stylistic matchup. Okay, that would sell. Two Mexican nationals, okay? Two fighters that are well known in Mexico. All right. That would sell. They don't need that motherfucker fight a killer like Benavidez. Then after that, Crawford, that would sell. If Crawford's stupid enough to come up 2 weight divisions. Then after that, that's the end of the year. Benavidez is going to have to wait to 2025.
Yeah.
Think about it, Joe.
Oh, boy. You know what? Look. In 2025, Gogi, and maybe this is what Canelo's hoping for. In 2025, he's going to outgrow the division. David Benavidez will have to compete at 175. Realistically, I've been told he's got 2 more fights at 68. That's it.
Well, sorry, David. You're just not in the Canelo sweepstakes, baby.
Well, I will say this though. Even if, right? And once again, he's Heyman has struck a deal with Amazon Prime, right? But it's a distribution deal only. Even with the 2 hottest fights potentially in North America, Gogi, which is Canelo Crawford and Canelo Benavidez, that's still no guarantee that they're going to want to, pay for the guarantee. Can you explain that, please?
Oh, Showtime is bye-bye. They were the sugar daddy. Now they ain't got a sugar daddy. Now they got to fund everything. So if Amazon Prime don't want to fund it, well, guess what? Al's he ain't the promoter of record, but he calls the shots. He's gonna have to find another hedge fund or investor to put up the money. Yeah.
Yep. And look, guys, it's just like going to a bank, right? If your credit is shit, you need to put up some collateral for them to lend you any money.
Yeah.
So once again, is there any solid collateral, even with Canelo Crawford in the bank or Canelo Benavidez in the bank?
These motherfuckers, man, are smart enough to know that they're not gonna, you know what I mean? They don't know boxing, and they won't be stupid enough, I don't think, to fund both of these.
See, that's my point, guys. Yeah. So you understand how the business works. Okay, it's just like going and trying to get a loan from the bank if your credit is dog shit. Yeah. And right now, according to every network, Heyman's credit is horse shit. Right?
Yeah.
That's a problem. That's a problem.
Everything he touches, he turns his shit. Every network deal, every network he's been on, he burned the bridges, basically. Yeah.
So that's the point, guys. If he stays with Showtime and stays with their obligation to distribute and pay the guarantee for Canelo's fights, they have no say in his opposition.
Yeah.
So more than likely, what you're going to get is either Jaime Munguia and Terrence Crawford in September, or Jaime Munguia and Jamal Charlo in September.
Yeah, bottom
That's
line
what you're
is
going to get.
Benavidez, he wants that fight, but you gotta, your pay-per-view numbers got to go up. Now, if he drew 1 million pay-per-view buys, and hey, he got leverage. But
That's it.
We'll find out. Rick will find out this week. And now he did 120. I figure, I don't know. It's a tough market now, man.
Yeah, Andrade's not a big commodity either. So that doesn't help.
Honestly, Joe, I think they did under 100. And if that's the case,
oh boy,
Canelo's gonna go, fuck this, fuck you. You know what I mean? You bring
yeah,
nothing
guys.
to the table.
Look. Ducking is a fan-driven concept that doesn't exist within the business, but risk versus reward does. So if Canelo is looking at David Benavidez and saying, you know what, with the audience he brings, yeah, it's too much risk for the reward. Yeah. So why wouldn't I fight a guy like Jaime Munguia, who went life or death with Derevyanchenko, for a greater reward and less risk? Why wouldn't I do that?
It's business. Canelo could do that. He's like I said, he's at the golden years of his career. I mean, he's past his prime. He's starting to slide, so he's going to pick the best fights possible. That's going to make him the most money with the lowest risk. And David Benavidez, it doesn't fit into his business plans right now.
That's it, unfortunately. And look, he doesn't need him. With the look, if he retired tomorrow, he would retire and be a first ballot Hall of Famer in just a couple of years, right? With or without Benavidez. He's got nothing left to prove to anybody. Unfortunately, Gogi, what is going to be the result of this in North America as far as the health of the sport?
Who the fuck cares? I mean, nobody watches boxing now. It's so fucked up. You know what I mean?
No. What I'm saying is, though, we're not going to gain any new fans. Look, people want to like boxing. Yeah, unfortunately, boxing and its promoters and its fighters continuously shoot themselves in the foot.
Nobody watches boxing now. Only hardcore fans. I mean, just look at this. Look, all you got to do is look at the ratings on TV. What do you think Showtime is closing shop? The ratings. Okay.
Yep. That's it, guys. That's it. Look, and according to Timothy Bradley, right? According to him and what Top Rank told him, the Top Rank brass, there are only 350,000 diehard fans in America left.
Leonard Ellerby said there was only like around 250. So they're in the same ballpark. That is so fucking sad, man.
That's sad when you consider there are over 330 million inhabitants in the American market.
What does that tell you, Joe? It's a niche market, okay?
Yep. That's it, guys. So once again,
and who do you blame? Who do you blame? The powers
everyone.
That run.
You blame everybody. Well, you blame everyone. It's not just the promoters. You blame the fans for stealing the shit, and also you blame the fighters for having this business first mentality. You blame the promoters for inflated purses also.
Who created this culture? Al Heyman.
Yep.
Piece of shit. He's the biggest piece of shit I've seen in boxing in the last 20 years, probably ever. Okay. Totally ruined the culture of the sport.
Yeah. So look, guys, unfortunately, guys, I didn't want to believe it, but I was faced with reality speaking with these people. Right. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like Canelo Benavidez will happen. Now, hopefully, Canelo actually has a change of heart. I don't think he's going to get it. And because no one can force him, no one can hold his feet to the fire under the current contractual obligation that he has with BBC Showtime.
Exactly.
Right. And so unless, well, no, I'm not even talking about hypothetical. So Gogi, now we're talking about mythical matchups now. Here goes the hypothetical. How does this fight play out, sir? Who wins?
I think, down the back half of the fight, you can't keep Benavidez off you, and just the volumes of punches, of combinations, is going to put it on you. Boy, it's going to be too much for Canelo to handle. Because Canelo, first half of the fight, if he could get your attention and gain control, then that means he's going to pretty much dictate the action. But you ain't going to be able to do it against a guy like this. This guy's going to make you fight. And if it goes in the back half of the fight, that's where his stamina issues come into play. His age, his slipping defense. So, Benavidez, the jab's got to be the key, man. The jab is going to be, man, if he lands his jab consistently every round, that's going to slowly break Canelo down. That's slow. When you get hit with the jab, man, them little bitty gloves, it's hard. And your face starts swelling up, starts getting busted up. Your eyes start, closing. And that's going to set up his combination, his high pressure, high punch output, offensive attack, body, head, body. He's just going to keep taking it to Canelo and everything. You know what I mean? Then, like I said, the back half of the fight, that's when you'll start seeing the attrition, the separation with Benavidez, the younger, not over the heel like Canelo past his prime. You'll see Canelo start getting hit more and more. I wouldn't be surprised if his corner, if he starts taking a lot of punches, his coaches will be smart and like Andre's coach or Sugar Hill last night, just stop the fight. You know what I mean? They'll say, man, you don't need to be taking these type of punches. You just don't have what it takes to keep a guy like this off you. You know what I mean? And Benavidez, once he's like a shark. When he sees blood, boy, he starts picking up his tempo. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. He starts picking up his tempo. He knows when to change his tempo. He'll be nice casual, then pick it up a little bit more. Then he knows when to put the foot to the pedal. The pedal to the metal and really full throttle, and turn that pressure attack of it. Turn that pressure attack, that high volume punch output. It starts, what do you call it? On overdrive. Okay.
Yep.
Turbo thrust. And that's what I see Benavidez, you know what I mean? Canelo, he ain't gonna be able to keep this guy off him, especially if it goes in the back half of the fight. But the key has got to be the jab. The jab is going to be the key punch that's going to break Canelo down. And once Canelo keeps on getting hit by that jab, that's going to make Benavidez. That's going to set up Benavidez's high punch, high volume punch output attack. Yeah.
Now, Gogi, my observation last night, it almost seems like the safest place to be when you're fighting a guy like David Benavidez, a guy who has a really big range, tall, lengthy. It almost seems like if you're trying to fight him from mid to long range, that seems like it's his wheelhouse, right? Is the safest place to fight Benavidez, is that on the inside?
If you know how to fight in the pocket, yeah. Canelo knows how to fight in the pocket. Okay, but Canelo also knows how to move. He knows how to, but it's going to be hard to keep, it's going to be hard to get away from that jab.
Yep.
Because it's so long and it's quick and sharp and crisp. So, and plus he's going to have to get this guy's attention, man. Okay. He's got to punch him in the mouth. He's got to get his attention early on to let him know that you're not going to bully me. And being in the pocket is the best thing. And, Canelo does know how to fight in the pocket. He does know how to throw those type of short, compact power punches in the pocket that get your attention. And, in the past, he showed great defensive skills to avoid those punches and everything,
Yep.
But, his against Ryder, that, he showed me his defensive skills are slipping and everything. Charlo, that was a fucking joke, man. Charlo didn't want to fight. So he didn't see nothing. But against a guy like Benavidez, Yeah, once that fight goes in the pocket, you better have, you better know how to fight. You better have the tools, mentally, physically, skill sets, boxing IQ, and knowing how to fight that pressure. Okay, and when it does get there, you got to know how to defend yourself. You got to know how to get his attention. Okay, you got to know how to hurt this guy. You got to know how to let some air out of his tire with them body shots. Then you got to have the defensive skills not to get hit with the same return fire that you're hitting. You're going to hit Benavidez with, man. Yeah, but Canelo does have the skill sets to fight in the pocket. That's where he prefers. But to me, at this age, at Canelo's age, Benavidez is just a more effective fighter at close quarters than Canelo. I don't think Canelo can handle that type of fast pace, high pressure attack Benavidez is going to give him, especially if he uses his jab effectively and starts breaking his face down, busting him up. You keep on getting hit with that jab. It's gonna, you know what I mean? Then all of a sudden the combinations start landing. Okay. Then once some combinations start landing, like I said, David Benavidez, he has multiple, variations of tempo he applies on you. Okay. Slow, medium, then a pedal to the metal, full throttle. Okay. Then he'll put it on you. And once it gets to that point, like the Andrade fight or the Matisse fight, where both guys had their foot on the pedal to the metal, and their fighters getting hit, Canelo's getting hit with a lot of the punches back in the corner. I don't want to see. I do the same thing, Sal, man. Like, I don't want you. It's going to get worse as the fight continues. You might get, it's going to get worse the next round. So it's better just call it a day. You just ain't got what it takes to. You just don't have it. You're not a young, youthful, 24-year-old, 25-year-old. Okay. He's going to be 34, 35. I can't remember his age, but
yep.
Yeah, you just don't have it no more, man, to keep a guy like this off you. But anyway, that's why I'm pretty accurate on predicting how it will go.
Well, obviously, you've only had 12 years of a sample. In my book, I guess, once again, guys, Gogi, in the 12 years that we've worked together, I can count on one hand how many times Gogi has been wrong in his pre-fight predictions.
And I just think this high punch out.
That's
Canelo,
amazing, dude.
Canelo has, stamina issues in the back half of the fight. After 6 rounds, he'll start slowing down. Okay. And Benavidez, boy, if he sees that, boy, he's going to change the tempo of his attack into, pedal to the metal, full throttle. Okay. And just press the attack on him behind that good jab, getting close and put the combinations together. Okay. Canelo's going to have to, he can't defend against every single punch that's coming at him. He's going to get hit. And at this age, if his fighter keeps on taking punishment and it starts becoming one-sided, like the fights last night, Eddie's a smart trainer, man. He'll call it a day. I would too.
And there it is. There's Gogi's official prediction for Benavidez Canelo. Even though we don't predict, we don't anticipate it happening in 2024. Once again, I was gutted, guys, when I spoke to this gentleman. And yeah, he told me, and I confirmed it with Rick Glazier as well, because he's currently, making matches right now for Golden Boy as well.
Like I said, Joe, I known this 2 weeks ago when his buddy told me Munguia said that they have made him an offer. I don't want to say the money they made him. They offered him and everything, because that's not, I should.
Well, it's his largest payday to date. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna say, I'm not gonna spread his business over the internet, man.
Of course.
My buddy's real close with Munguia, and he told him all this stuff because in confidence, and I'm not gonna say it, but the fight was offered 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and if they could get the numbers and if they could get the numbers in agreement with both parties and everything ironed out, then Canelo will put his differences aside with Oscar and do the fight. It's business. He might not want to talk to the motherfucker or see the guy at a press conference, shake his hand, but they'll do the business together. Yeah. Just a business relationship.
Oh boy, and there it is, guys. That's what you have to look forward to. Cinco de Mayo weekend 2024. But guys, look, once again, if you want to make a difference and you want to be the real bosses of boxing once again, you've got to financially support this stuff. You have to do it, because otherwise they really don't care. They really don't care. And that's it. That's it, guys. Before we move forward, well, I tell you what, since it looks like that's not going to happen, Gogi, let's do it once again. What do you say, Hitman Hatton?
How we doing, love? It's time for Gogi's mythical matchups. And no, I'm not making a comeback. Oh, you can't afford me, can you?
There it is. Thank you, Hitman. Chingo. Anyway, thank you for your super chat. Thank you for your comment, RZ. We really appreciate it, my friend. And so, mythical matchup in 2024. David Benavidez realistically only has 2 more fights at 68. And he said, look, if we can't get the Canelo fight, we would love to move up to 75 and take on Dimitri Bivol for his WBA strap. Coach Gogi, how do you see that fight playing out, sir?
It's a different ball game now. You got a guy that's fit, same size, physically strong, athletic, mobile, great footwork, in and out, moves in and out of range, moves in circles, moves at angles, got a good jab, got a good high boxing IQ, good counter puncher. He hits hard enough to get your attention. So, yeah, that pressure, that, Bivol will get his attention, okay? Especially Benavidez, the step back counters that Bivol likes to throw. He'll catch Benavidez coming in over aggressively. He'll step back and hit him with a 1-2. But that jab of Bivol, is very educated. And like I said, he's got the power, the hammers in his hands to get the attention of this guy, okay? Anyway, yeah, it'll be a good fight, good stylistic matchup and everything. You there, Joe? But anyway, yeah, as far as Benavidez, I don't think he's going to outbox Benavidez. I mean, he ain't going to outbox Bivol. Bivol, because of his big amateur background, his ability, like I said, his boxing IQ, knowing how to move in and out of range, knowing how to control distance, he's going to have to take it to Bivol, okay? He ain't going to stay at range and try to box him. He's going to have to press the action on Bivol. And that's Bivol. He's feeling, he feels comfortable when a guy comes at him because, like I said, he's getting used to that pressure. That guys come to him, and that's when he's effective. He'll pick you apart with step back counters, with the jabs, blocking counters, catching counters. Yeah, not really. Bivol can't fight in the pocket. His game is range and distance. Okay, and he's got the feet to do it, where he could do it for 12 rounds to move in and out of range, move in circles. Okay, and that over aggressiveness of what do you call it? Benavidez, Benavidez don't move his head. He just walks in with his hands straight up. People will pick him apart. You know what I mean? If he goes in like that with his hands up,
Wow.
That stylistic. That guy could give Benavidez problems because Benavidez is one dimension. Okay, he ain't gonna be able to box this guy at range and distance.
Yep.
Bivol's a better boxer, like I said, Joe.
Yep.
Okay. Range and distance, controlling distance, footwork in and out, better footwork, high boxing IQ, damn big amateur pedigree, okay? Huge amateur pedigree. All that stuff matters, Joe, going into a fight. Benavidez only had like maybe 15 amateur fights, and he's one-dimensional. He tries to just bully you and swarm you and bust your pipes with that pressure. He ain't gonna be able to do that with Bivol because Bivol has a hammer in his hands to get his attention, to get his respect, and he's got the boxing skill to move in and out of range, move in circles where he's not going to be a stationary target like a punching bag. Okay. And when you got a guy that can move in and out of range, move in circles, a guy like Benavidez is going to throw off. He can't set his feet. You're not in front of him. He's going to have to chase you. And if he starts getting over aggressive, he's going to get caught with the counters coming in. Oh yeah, I'll pick Bivol in that fight. But I got to see Bivol. I got to see him fight because another guy that don't motherfucking fight a lot. So you don't know, he hasn't fought a lot. So, and he's getting there. He's getting up in age. So I want to see if he still got those skills. But if he looked anything like he fought Canelo, then Benavidez is in a fight.
Well, unfortunately, he hasn't fought anyone since Zurdo Ramirez, right? And that was December of last year.
And he looked beautiful doing it. I told you,
looked great.
I told you it would be an easy fight. Everybody looked at me like, that movement, the movement, boxing in circles, moving around, boxing in circles, moving at angles, the in and out movement, the sharp counter punching. Okay, the overall skill sets is a lot. It was on a different level than Zurdo, and it's the same thing with Benavidez. He's on a different level as far as real world class skills at range and distance. Oh, he's on a different level than Benavidez. Benavidez is only right here, okay, in the pocket. But you give him a little movement, okay. It's hey, I can't set my feet. I can't get in the rhythm. You're not in front of me, okay. Then that jab coming in his face, up and down, the sharp counters when you try to come in, and Bivol got some hammers. He'll get his attention. I'm going with Bivol with that fight.
I tell you what, guys, I really hope you appreciate what an amazing guy Gogi is in breaking down these mythical matchups. This is
I never studied the fight. Hey, I never studied the fight. You just brought it up to me, Joe, right now. I never studied the fight beforehand.
Guys, and once again, he had no idea that I was going to spring this on him.
No, I had no idea.
That's what a boxing savant he is.
I've been in this shit long enough. I understand how fights are going to play out. Once I see him fight, I understand the style. I understand what the strengths and weaknesses and the game plan both guys need to implement to win. And I think Benavidez, he's got to get close to this guy because if he gives him that range and distance, let him move around the ring, and let him move around the ring freely. Let him get that real estate he wants. Benavidez is going to get his ass whooped. That in and out movement, the step back counters, that jab, the straight right hand, the sharp, crisp combination he throws, and Benavidez is coming in just like this with no head movement. That's one dimensional. That's like it's going to be a Zurdo repeat.
So why do you think he called out Bivol instead of Beterbiev, Coach?
I don't know. He thinks, I don't know. He wants a big money payday, man. He wants a big money payday, but that's because of that footwork, boy. Oof, he's hard to deal with, man. And he's hard to get when he gets by the ropes. It's hard to trap him in the corners of the ropes because his footwork is so good. He's just got. Since a little kid, he was trained once he gets by the ropes or in the corners to pivot out of there, circle around you. When he was with Canelo, he got stuck on the ropes a couple of times, but he covered up good. And when he threw, boom, he countered back with combinations. Canelo didn't expect that. Okay, when he blocked and countered, Canelo threw a right hand, overhand right. Bivol blocked and countered with a left hook, uppercut, then come back with a hook. Yeah, pop, 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 and that's what you do. With a guy that's going to throw them hard shots on. When a guy got you by the ropes, he'll start loading up on you, try to, catch you with a good shot to put you on your ass. But that's when you can use it to your advantage. You set traps when you're on the ropes, when you're in them situations, catching counters. And Bivol showed me he could do that, against Canelo. He going to do the same thing for Benavidez. Then he's going to take it back out range and box the shit out of him like he did Zurdo. And just give him a one-sided boxing lesson and a beat down with it. Yeah.
Well, here it is. Here's a mythical matchup from our brother, Anthony Manzano. Welcome to the show, sir. He says, Coach, I have a mythical matchup for you. Ricky Hatton versus Subriel Matias.
Let's make this the last one, Joe, because I got to get going.
Oh, of course, sir. It's your show.
Both guys similar styles. Both guys ain't got a they ain't gonna do much to find each other. They're gonna be right there in the pocket. Okay. Hitman, a devastating body puncher. Okay. Hit you at not only a devastating, he gets full impact leverage on his body punches, and he hits you at angles with the body punches. That's what I like about the Hitman. Yeah. Yeah, is the body punches and the angles he uses when he has to. Aggressive physical fighter, gets hit a lot. Subriel Matias, man, he trains in the high altitude right outside Mexico City at 8,500 feet. He's in supreme Salvador Sanchez type condition when he gets ready to fight. Okay. All right. So me, Joe, that conditioning, the toughness, and Subriel Matias ain't got to find him. Ooh, good luck.
Yep.
He's gonna eventually, wear down Hatton, because Matias could punch him both hands. He'll eventually wear him down and stop him.
Yep. Stop him on cuts at the very least. Because remember, guys, Ricky Hatton's face was like tissue paper.
Yeah.
And there it is, guys. That's it. We're at the end of the road. Guys, we're going to talk with Mr. Rick Glazier tomorrow evening to go over the rest of the card as well. But guys, you just heard a masterclass from Maestro Gogi. Gogi, we want to thank you, man, for devoting your time to this show. And once again, look for great things to come in 2024. But Gogi, any parting shots for our listening audience, sir?
No, thanks for everybody tuning in. I think Brian Garcia fights next week. I want to see that fight.
Boom.
And that prospect they got, Floyd Schofield. See how he progresses. My guy Mike Miller manages the lawyer and the manager of the kids. So I want to see how they're high on that guy. I'm not so high on the guy yet. I want to see that guy in some fights. Okay, and see how he reacts. See how he behaves in tough situations, how he responds. All that shit, man, and see his skill sets. If they're evolving or developing. Because that guy he fought last time, Ladarius Mitchell, Ladarius Miller.
Yep.
Guy like that. If you're a prospect, you knock guys like that out. You don't go to distance. Okay.
Yep.
Anyway.
And there it is, guys. And there it is. If you missed any part of the show, please rewind right now, or you've got it on archive for the rest of the week. And guys, please hit the like button. Coach Gogi deserves it. Guys, on behalf of the Boxing Savant, Coach James Gogi.
Thank you.
I'm Joseph Herron. You've been listening to War a Week Boxing on YouTube. Have a great week, everybody. Holdings proudly presents War Week Radio with 5-decade fight trainer, Coach James Gogi.